All right, let's talk about anti-bribery. But this isn't going to be your typical dry corporate training. We're going to go beyond the rulebook and really get into how this stuff works in the real world, and most importantly, what your part is in all of it. So let's dive in. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Are you absolutely positive you could spot a bribe, no matter what form it took? If you paused for even a split second, you're in exactly the right place. And that's because, it's not always the classic briefcase full of cash. In today's world, bribery can be way more subtle. It could be a favor, a so-called exclusive opportunity, or maybe a gift that just feels a little too generous. Getting a handle on these gray areas is absolutely crucial. Seeing those subtleties is really the first step toward the bigger picture here, because this isn't just about memorizing rules to stay out of trouble. It's about actually building a real, genuine culture of integrity from the ground up. And that's where the real power is. Yeah, on the surface, it's about checking a box for legal compliance. But at its heart, this is about giving everyone, and I mean everyone, the tools to build a workplace that's based on trust. It's a responsibility we all share. Okay, but before we can build anything, we all need to be speaking the same language. So, what is bribery exactly? Let's draw some clear lines in the sand. So here's the textbook definition. For me, two words really pop: advantage and inducement. Advantage just reminds us that a bribe isn't always money. It can be pretty much anything of value. But inducement, that's the key. That's the corrupt bargain that you do this for me and I'll do this for you that just completely crosses the line. So let's see how this actually shows up. An excessive gift is one that stops feeling like a simple thank you and starts feeling like you owe them something. That little facilitation payment might seem harmless, but it's really about getting an official to bend the rules just for you. These are those tricky spots where normal business can slip into a serious breach of trust. So with all these gray areas, how do we find our way? Well, it's not just about trusting your gut. There is a world-class framework for this, based largely on the UK's Bribery Act from 2010. And it all boils down to 6 core principles. Just 6. But trust me, these 6 principles are the bedrock of any anti-bribery program that actually works. Let's break them down. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with leadership really meaning it. That's top-level commitment. From there, you gotta know where your weak spots are. That's risk assessment. And you have to be super careful about who you do business with. That's due diligence. Your rules need to fit your risks, making them proportionate. And of course, none of it matters without great communication. Finally, this is not a set-it-and-forget-it deal. You have to constantly monitor and review to make sure it's all working. Okay, that's the theory. We've got the definitions, we've got the principles. But what does any of this mean for you on a Tuesday afternoon? How do we make this real? A really solid policy is never vague. It needs to have a crystal clear, zero-tolerance stance. It should give you practical guidance on things like gifts, so you're not left guessing. And this is so important, it has to tell you exactly how to raise a concern without any fear of it coming back on you. Which brings us to the biggest question of all. Because a policy is just words on a page if people don't bring it to life. What's your personal role here? Think of it as a partnership, really. Leadership has to set the tone, walk the talk, and provide the support. But it's every single staff member who acts as the eyes and ears on the ground, understanding the rules, staying alert, and having the courage to speak up when something isn't right. And speaking up needs to be simple. If a situation just feels off, if a request seems weird, or a payment isn't transparent, trust your gut. That's your signal. The process should be dead simple. Spot the red flag and report it right away, using the proper channels. Waiting only makes things more complicated. Now, getting a certificate for completing this training is great, but it's not the finish line. Think of it less like a graduation diploma and more like renewing your driver's license. The world and its risks are always changing, so staying sharp with regular training is what keeps this whole culture of integrity strong. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Leadership points the way. Vigilance is the everyday job of every single person. And that commitment to continuous improvement, well, that's the promise you make as a team to never stop learning and adapting to protect what you've built. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one thought. A culture isn't some grand thing that's built overnight. It's built in the thousands of small choices people like you make every single day. So the real question is, how are you going to contribute to that culture of integrity starting right now?